Hi, welcome to this video on MS SQL covering an introduction to data types. So in SQL, in tables, data is stored as a type. But there's lots and lots of different types of data. We're going to cover as an introduction 3 of the more common types of data. That is text, number and date. So on screen you can see I've got a select against my card lists table, and the first column is a text column, the second column is a number column, and the third column is a date column. It's important to know the type of data you're dealing with because it gives you an idea of how you can manipulate and use that data. So as an example, let me look at returning the first 4 characters of my text column using the left function. Run that, it'll say it'll return the first 4 characters. Perfect. But I can use left against the date function, the date column, and it returns me, it starts at the beginning and says here's the first 4 characters in this column. There they are. I can also do it against my number column. So if I just change that to 2 to make it a better example, the first 2 characters of 387 is 38. The first 2 characters of 322 is 32. So you can see it starts at the beginning and it returns the first 2 characters because I've asked it to. So left works with any data types, or certainly these 3 that we're looking at here. If I do len and say get me the length of my name column, it'll do that. And I can also do it for my other columns as well. So as an example, I use the cards, and it'll say there's 1 character in this column, there's 1 character in this column, there's 3 characters in this column, 2, etc. If I do it for date, well, they'll all be the same because it's all the same length, so they'll all be 10. But you can see there's 10 characters. Now, if we now look at our cards column, the cards column is a number, and because it's a number, we can do mathematical formulas with it. So if I say get me this number here in this column and times it by 5, I can do that. 2 5s are 10, 5 5s are 25. You can see that I can do that. What I can't do is I can't say get me the value in my name column and times that by 5, because my name column is text. You can't times letters by numbers. It doesn't work like that. But if you were to say get me the length of my name column, the len function returns a number. So if I say get me the length of my name column, you can now do that because len returns a number. In this one, I think it returned 25, and then times that by 5 is 135. So it calculates the length and then times that number by 5 in this case. So it's important to know the types of data you're dealing with. Len returns a number, so you can treat it as a number. Now let's look at the date column. Because it's a date column, it knows it's a date column. SQL knows that a date is in parts. So there is a year element to a date. So we can use the year function. And it'll say, oh yeah, that's a date column. And the year of that date column is 2020. What's the month of that date column? The month of that date column is 6 or 12 or 11. There you go. But you can't say, get me the year of my text column, because that doesn't make sense. It's a text column, it's not a date column, so there's no year element to it. That's the end of this video. I hope you found it helpful.